Hi, James Willoughby here, Keller Williams Realty, giving you another installment of what's going on in the Austin real estate market, where weekly we dissect what happened for the week before in terms of actives, pendings, and overall direction of the market, including interest rates and my seat of the pants feel of what's going on. This week is ending Sunday, July the 17th. So the information I'm reporting on is we're, really 1 week before Christmas. So this should be an interesting week because if we look at our previous graphs, Christmas week is usually not a great week for pendings. However, we've had enough momentum going into the market that I think you'll see that maybe it'll be a little bit different this year. I'm not sure. Christmas is on Monday, so it actually basically straddles 2 weeks worth of activity. So we'll see how that works. So let's take a quick look, a deeper dive on what is going on right now. This is ending week 3. We had 8,521 listings versus last year, right at about 8,200. So, our spread is only about 300 here between last year and this year in terms of overall listings. And you can remember how I predicted in the last couple of weeks, these two graphs are converging here. So I fully expect by the end of the year that we'll be, right here at, about 8,000 or just under 8,000 listings. We'll see. And then coming out of the year into the new year, it's going to be very low. We'll probably be around 7,500 listings. So it looks like it'll be, at least the start of the year will be a repeat of last year. So what happens from there, we'll find out, right? But every week, I'm always interested. My favorite graph to show you is the active versus pending listings. So what that means is how many new listings did we have last week, 473, versus how many new pendings, that homes that went under contract, 659. Look at the spread between the two of those. I mean, gosh, that's almost 200 homes. So that is what's whittling away at our inventory. And we haven't even hit the end of the year where we see a lot of folks that, sellers that just decided they're tired and they're pulling their homes off the market. So that'll be a market reset come January 1st. Honestly, this is kind of an unexpected plus here, these new pendings, because if we go to the pending graph here, we look at last year versus this year, we had 659 week 3 of this year, and we only had 570. So we're 100 higher than last year. So of course you can see where Christmas just goes right into the doldrums, so to speak. So, but we actually have 2 more reporting weeks. So, the weeks don't quite align because, they say there's 52 weeks in a year, but there's actually a little bit more, right? So they don't jibe 100% every year because of the way the calendar works, obviously. Now, weeks of inventory, let me get rid of last year, right? So let's just look at this, what's happening right now. Remember, this was Thanksgiving, so we had a spike of weeks of inventory for that 1 week, primarily because Thanksgiving, not a lot of people bought that week. Now, this last week, we were down to 13 weeks of inventory. So if we slide all the way across to this point, that's the same amount of inventory we had week 2 of August. So if anything else, I think this is a telling sign of the future market because it really feels like the momentum is there to have a really good spring market. So my advice right now, if you're a buyer, you should be looking right now. And I'm hoping that you are, because I think that prices should start going up. Is it going to be dramatic like we've seen a couple of springs in the last several years? No, it's not going to be dramatic, but it'll be higher. So, as interest rates go down, guess what happens? Prices go up. So let's talk about interest rates. So here's our graph of what's going on in interest rates. So the 30-year mortgage rates have dropped consistently every week since the end of October. So it was at almost, not quite 7.8. Last week, the 30-year rate just crept under 7%. So the fact that it has a 6 in front of it instead of a 5, I think psychologically is helping the market out. Not just Austin, but nationwide. I read a lot of blogs. I've tracked the national market as well, which, does not directly affect the Austin market, but rates, help out because that brings the buyers back out. With the fact that rates continue to drop is good. And in fact, my son is buying a home in New Mexico. He's relocating there. He's in the Army. He's a recruiter. And since he put his contract down several weeks ago, his interest rate's already dropped, like 0.3%. So that's helping him out because, it's going to help him out on not just the mortgage payment, but he could take the old rate and actually have them pay all the closing costs. And I know he's going to refinance anyway, so it's probably a really good deal for him. So anyway, that's the reality of the market right now, which I think is a good reality. We did get the most recent monthly median sales price last week. It was $424,000. Now, you see this is a 3-year chart. You see where there's a peak and a valley and a peak and a valley and another peak and a valley. So prices are seasonal, and we'll probably see even a little bit lower median price in January. But remember, when we report January's numbers, those are like December's pending sales, which means that's what happened in December, not January. They just closed in January. So I think you're going to see, with low inventory and lower interest rates, I predict that the sellers will see a little bit of a price spike, really honestly starting in January. So we'll see how that works out. But that's why I'm telling buyers and suggesting to my buyers agents, get your buyers to think about buying now, because it'd be a good time to make a purchase while prices are low. Remember, you can't renegotiate the price after you buy it, but you can renegotiate the interest rate. So buyers, beware. Go buy a home right now, because the Austin market is going to be strong next year. All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks.